Thank you once again. And to me, submission is not slavery, but it all depends on the background of some individuals and the way they reason, their mentality. And like the popular saying that says, charity begins at home. Some people, the way they are brought up, they see the home. They don't see the home as a place where they ought to be loved, or they've not experienced love, they've not experienced togetherness, they've not experienced family bonding and all that. So those kind of people, maybe when they grow up to start a relationship, they might have a little problem in submitting to each other. You understand? So they would definitely misinterpret submission. They would think submission is slavery. Meanwhile, submission is not slavery. Submission is love, is understanding, is being able to communicate with each other, is being able to listen to each other, is being able to understand each other. So anybody seeing submission as slavery is definitely has a wrong background. Let me just say that. Person has a wrong background. Because if you come from a background where you are grounded well, where you are not from a dysfunctional behavior, where there is no dysfunctional behavior, definitely you will see submission as an act of agape love. Definitely, when something is done in love, it is not slavery. You will even enjoy it. You will enjoy it. So submission to me is not slavery.
So from if I understand you clearly, submission is not slavery according to you.
Yes.
And it also depends on the background. Probably bringing excess luggage or baggage to the marriage. Exactly. So lack of understanding.
And which has actually affected the person's mentality.
The
Bible regards the man as the head of the house. So in the continuation of this verse, I think in verse 22, it says, wife should submit to the husband as the head of the house. As the head. Being the head, the wife should submit to the husband. And like I said earlier on, submission is in two ways, as in it involves two parties. By the time the wife submits to the man definitely will return back the submission in love, by showing the wife respect, by showing the wife honor, by listening to her. But when you don't submit to your husband, how will he be able to listen to you? How will he be able to communicate with you? So in my own context, in my own little way of understanding, it is, in my own opinion, the women ought to submit to the husband
according to the Bible.
According to the Bible, submission as in is a two-way thing. Two of them have to submit to each other. It's just that
not one way now.
Not one way. It's not because it's only the man, because the Bible says the man is the head. They forget the part that says, the Bible also says they should submit to one another. Meaning, husband should submit to the wife should submit to the husband. But the Bible only just recognizes the man as the head of the home. Without the head, there can't be the body. And without the body, the head is also useless.
Of course.
So that's my own.
How's your own opinion, Mrs. Obey? What's your take on this?
Thanks once again, the Lord Show. My take on this topic, submission in marriage. I'll first and foremost define submission in marriage as, husband, and rather wife submit to your husband.
There was a general command.
There was
which
a
involved
general,
both parties.
yes, there was a general command for both parties before giving it also to the woman.
No, I'm asking you this because Ephesians 5:21 is what the men are hitting on. In fact, generally, wives submit unto the husband.
Yes, yes.
They don't look back to that verse you just said now that there was a general command before that.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking my time to explain it because we need to understand the men, they don't just have to categorize on that, particular Ephesians 25:22 that women submit to your husband. At least they should also start from verse 20, which says women submit one to another, and also go down to understand that they also have one they to need to submit to.
They have a role to play.
Yes, that they have a role to play, and in their submitting, that is not as the woman is submitted to them, they have a role to submit to Christ, and Christ, they submitting to Christ. Christ does not hits on them. Christ allowed them to willingly submit to him. So they should also expect the same from the woman. Willingly, because
forced.
No matter how you force someone, if that person doesn't want to submit to you, he or she will never. So that's why I defined it as a self-willingly and self-willingly yielding or self-willingly surrendering. So that is submission. So men should stop hitting on that note that women should submit. And mind you, submission also is not enslavement. And submission, like Bible gives us, was not supposed to. It was not supposed to be an avenue for the man to enslave his wife or treat the wife badly or wrongly. So submission is both sides, like my friend says, both parties, vice versa. This hand gives, the other one receives, that one gives, the other one receives. That's what submission is all about. Why, if it's outside marriage, outside Bible, it is also normal. Submission is needed, and it is needed in both sides. And this will take us back to like in the days of our fathers. Outside the Bible, there is something that replaced or took the place of the Bible then, and that is our cultures, our traditions, our rules as a people. So
what binds us together?
What binds us together? Yes. So you see, our parents those days, when they ask submission from, they don't even ask it. They don't demand it from our mothers. Our mothers willingly give it to them because these are men that know that they have a role. They
play their role.
Yes, that they have a role to play, and they are playing it, and they know that they also have a God that they need to submit to. So in those days, they were very careful. Now I'm talking of outside the Bible. So all this so for men to be continually saying, and the Bible says, say it correctly. So it's not because it's three now, it's not just the woman, no. First, it is a general command. Giving ourselves to one another. Exactly. Secondly, the woman submitting. And thirdly, the man submitting to his own head, which is Christ. And if he's not a Christian, submitting to his deity or to his ancestors or to his kinsmen also. So that is submission. And that's
it's simply everything about this submission.
It's both sides.
The major ingredient is love.
It's love.
When you love somebody, you tolerate the person. Even when the person offends you, you easily forgive the person.
Yes.
You let go. You're able to communicate with the person. The other person, when you love each other, you're able to listen to each other so that mistake will not happen again.
And mind us, while we talk about love, here is a commandment God has given. He said, woman, be submissive. And to the men, what did he say? Men, love your wife. Meaning the duty to love is to the man, not to the woman.
The woman is to
because why? God studies the woman, that the woman, that love is already in the woman naturally. It says the man to love the woman for her to bring it out. When we're doing a marriage seminar with Pastor Charles at Victory Christian International Ministry, he said something that I love so much, and I concurred with him. He said, men, you think your wife not submitting to you is the problem? He said, no, you are the problem. Because if Christ has instructs you to love your wife as he loves you, and And you see the example he used himself. He loved you to the point of dying for you. Meaning you should love your wife to the point of also dying for her. When you love her to that point, I tell you, your woman will put herself down and say, my husband, climb me to get to the top.
That is why I said, to me, all still boils out to the background in which everybody came from. If your foundation
is right.
You know, when the foundation is right, even the Bible says it. You understand? If the foundation of the righteous is
if the foundation is faulty,
what can the righteous man do? Exactly. Thank you for looking at. So it's just like it boils out from who we actually are. Who are you? Your attitude actually. Everything boils out and shows in your marriage.
Where you are coming from.
Where you are coming from, how you were being nurtured, how you were being brought up. You can't, sorry to say this, but it is hard from somebody that comes from a broken home to be able to submit or manage, because he or she has a past of what
effect is
exactly there. Except the person has gone through a lot of counseling and has been able to grow out of all those fears. You understand? So everything still boils out on yourself personally, who you are, who your spouse is. So to me, submitting to your husband is like a normal thing. It's like a way of life.
Yeah.
It's like a culture. It's like a normal phenomenon. It's not something that we should start arguing about or start saying or something. Sometimes when you give respect to someone, you give, because normally people term submission as respecting the person, honoring the person, yielding to the person's opinion. Definitely, when you yield to a person's opinion, the person will want to listen to you some other time. You give your opinion, I give mine.
Yeah.
By the time you look at it, you think he's the one controlling. Nevertheless, you are even the one controlling.
Yeah.
That is the key to a man's heart. When you submit to him, you honor him, he listens to you. He listens to you. So
if he listens to you based on love, literally,
he listens to you based on love.
Okay, that's what I want to hear. Because because you can just be